Because the cameras captured more than just uncomfortable flirtation, what was meant to be a lighthearted dating experiment on the Jackie Christie program has descended into full-blown reality TV turmoil. Social internet is ablaze with rumors that Tai and Evelyn weren't just there for a good time. They arrived with a ton of unresolved business, anxiety, and receipts. The internet is ablaze, fans are in disbelief, and video are going viral after the BBWLA section revealed stunning prior entanglements, odd couplings, and surprising admissions. Was Jackie really attempting to find these ladies love? Or did she inadvertently create the conditions for emotional conflict? What began as lighthearted matchmaking swiftly devolved into a tumultuous altercation, characterized by cold looks, subtle shadow, and one stunning scene on national TV that has everyone wondering, did Tai just out? Evelyn. According to insiders, the episode revealed a convoluted love triangle that no one anticipated, as well as prior betrayals and secret relationship issues. It was also obvious that this was not just another talk show filming, even though Jackie managed to smile her way through the confusion. This was the scene of combat. Fans are left wondering how much of this was retaliation and how much was genuine, as seen by the uncomfortable responses and smoldering subtext. And we assure you that this is just the start. Jackie Christie's concept was the catalyst for everything, to make her talk show more interesting by using it as a dating platform for some of the BBWLA women. Additionally, even though the idea was lovely on paper, as soon as Tai Young and Evelyn Lozada took the stage, it changed completely and became something different. No one was able to fully describe the heavy tension in the air. The crowd sensed something simmering behind Jackie's grins, which were pumping up the section like she was Cupid herself. They were correct. Tai arrived, calm on the outside, but those acquainted with the play said she was entering prepared for battle. She wasn't looking for love, not at all. She was there to watch, to listen, and maybe to ensure that no one misrepresented the events that had previously transpired between her and Evelyn. And Evelyn, who was radiant, enchanted the audience and shared Jackie's laughter. However, her whole attitude changed the instant she met Tai's gaze. For a moment, the grin vanished. Fans were stunned when Jackie presented the section, and her eyes narrowed just enough for those paying attention to notice. By asking sly questions like whether the women liked snuggling or collapsing after sex, she attempted to keep the conversation lighthearted. While some of the responses were funny, others caused the crowd to feel uncomfortable, particularly when Tai was asked about her past relationships and gave a single, dishonest response before turning to face Evelyn. It landed, but it wasn't noisy or filthy. It was caught by all. This enjoyable dating game abruptly began to seem more like a quiet standoff once the internet discovered it. Either unaware or acting as if she was, Jackie persisted in her efforts to get Tai and Evelyn to engage with the guys she had brought in. However, neither seemed to be interested. Evelyn seemed to be on the verge of leaving the set as Tai continued to provide terse responses while assessing each person in the room. The curveball then appeared. One of the ladies who entered the dating pool said in passing that she was wanting to connect with a woman and was married but polyamorous. Tai arched an eyebrow. Jackie, bless her, pretended that this was completely natural as Evelyn's lips clenched. Later, fans said that was when everything changed. At that point, the awkwardness gave way to messiness. "So your husband's okay with this?" Kai inquired, leaning closer, and the lady nodded. "He promotes it." Evelyn replied, "I guess some people like secrets out in the open." It was quick, slick, but heavy. Without a word, Tai turned to face Evelyn. The quiet was deafening. In an attempt to advance the conversation, Jackie chuckled uncomfortably, but the atmosphere in the room was strange. There were reports of discomfort even among the crew. The inquiries then became much more pointed. Jackie inquired about turn-ons, deal breakers, and the importance of size. However, Tai began transforming the inquiries into nuanced attacks rather than engaging in lighthearted conversation. "Anything above 7 is fine. At least something that can't lie to you." She chuckled when asked what size she wanted, and her expression as she looked at Evelyn was not missed. By now, the guys sitting in were almost invisible. No one was observing them. The tension between these two ladies, who obviously had unresolved business, was the center of attention. Despite her best efforts, Evelyn's flaws were beginning to appear. She crossed her arms, rolled her eyes once, and she waved one of the men away when he attempted to flirt with her, whispering, "I've had better." "Believe me." Tai laughed softly, which only made Evelyn more agitated. She was a very personal, calculating, and icy dancer. The spectators were riveted to their monitors. They began putting the pieces together. There were a lot of theories. Did Evelyn date Tai? Did anything happen behind the scenes that was never broadcast? Jackie continued to promote the episode as if nothing had happened, attempting to wring a romantic tale out of a bunch of individuals who were obviously not interested in complying. And the truth began to seep out more and more the more she tried. After being harmed, Tai was once asked whether she would be amenable to meeting someone again. Jackie inquired who owed her the apology, but she shrugged and answered, "If the apology ever came, ... maybe." Jackie was obviously fishing. Fans gasped as Tai grinned and said, "The one who thinks her silence is forgiveness." Social media exploded, ... Evelyn remained silent. She was not required to. Her intensity altered, but her stillness was sufficient. The flirtation vanished. Responses became defensive and curt. She lost her temper when Jackie questioned her about her belief in second chances. Not for liars who then pretend to be victims. And there it was. The mask fell off. Finally leaking into the room was the true reason they both appeared. Unstated but indisputable, whatever had transpired between them had not yet been settled. And the level 4 was this tiny dating game. Their emotional impasse. According to reports, the other members of the cast who were observing from behind the scenes were taken aback. According to some sources, Chantel was texting people during the whole recording process to alert them to what was occurring in real time. It is said that Brandy advised a producer to remove this particular piece. It is going to explode. However, it was too late. That they had cameras rolling. The drama was developing, and every moment of it was adored by the crowd. The dating program has turned into a battleground for subtle disclosures, animosity, and shade. A dot. Jackie tried to rekindle the enthusiasm as the piece came to an end by thanking everyone with her famous talk show grin, but it was obvious that something had broken. Tai left first, comme usual. For an additional minute, Evelyn remained behind to adjust her microphone, not observing the crowd and anybody. They were still attempting to make sense of what they had just seen. Was it an unplanned call-out, an accident, or the start of something more significant? No two people left that part the same, that much was certain. Not Jackie, not the visitors, not the admirers. It's possible that the cameras ceased recording. However, the fallout was just getting started. As production assistants rushed to grab or remove the most incendiary footage, tensions increased backstage. Before anyone could stop them, rumors of leaked video began to spread. A little excerpt from Tai's fan forum received a statement regarding forgiveness, to which responses varied from pity to downright censure. While some fans supported Tai and praised her candor, others chastised her for sharing private complaints on TV. A lengthier video of Evelyn's "better than that" comment was circulating on gossip websites at the same time, igniting discussions over who was at fault. Both women's friends defended their favorites on social media. A close friend of Tai sent a picture showing the two of them laughing together at a previous gathering, claiming there had never been a quarrel, and accused Evelyn of fabricating the story to get publicity. Conversely, Evelyn's relatives began to leave comments, implying that Tai had fabricated their connection in order to get sympathy. The accusations of treachery spread quickly, and what was supposed to be innocuous soon became enraged in comment sections. Fun became a nightmare for public relations. Jackie herself came under criticism. She was criticized for being careless, saying that instead of arranging matches, she set up her guests for embarrassment. Every word she spoke was scrutinized by talk show experts, who noted that she did not step in when the situation became too personal. Some even questioned her intentions. Was she only inciting drama to get ratings, or was she really playing Cupid? Producers privately backed her, claiming that confrontation is what reality TV is all about. However, the strain was genuine behind the scenes. Advertisers began asking about their commercials, unsure whether being associated with such explosive material would damage their businesses. As like the drama on television wasn't enough, conflicts off-screen started to be rumored. According to production sources, Tai and Evelyn had almost fought during breaks. Evelyn reportedly barged into a dressing room while yelling about respect, when Tai cut her off with a suspected backstage secret, leaving Evelyn stunned. Some crew members allegedly felt nervous going back to work the next day after security was summoned to defuse the tension. There was obvious tension, and those tasked with maintaining order were forward to see how the audience responded when the next program aired. Reacted. Jackie tried to defuse the situation by recording a follow-up social media post in reaction to the uproar. She urged compassion and respect, thanked everyone for watching, and emphasized that her section was entirely lighthearted. However, there were already a ton of memes, response GIFs, and contentious discussions in the comment area. Influencers took sides and created response videos that quickly garnered millions of views. Fans conjectured endlessly about what really transpired behind the scenes, as the unofficial hashtag Jackie's dating disaster became viral on Twitter. In the midst of all of this, Tai took a risk. Fans instantly analyzed the mysterious Instagram story she shared, which featured her by herself on a rooftop at dusk with the remark, "Truth always finds its way out." They were looking for hints. Was she talking to Evelyn? Was she hinting to a more serious betrayal? Some astute fans speculated that Tai taped the narrative after speaking with Evelyn face-to-face, since the rooftop tile pattern resembled a spot close to Evelyn's house. Although trolls had a field day, Tai was reminded that her truth mattered by sincere supporters who offered encouraging words. Evelyn retaliated in a same spectacular manner. She posted a behind-the-scenes photo from her beauty trailer with the comment, "Still standing strong." Although she didn't specifically name Tai, it was obvious what she was implying. She apologized for the way this piece was handled and promised that the complete unedited film will show the true situation in a brief clip of a voicemail she said was from a producer a few hours later. Whether this was a real leak or just another theatrical move to keep the audience interested, fans quickly conjectured. Former cast members were interviewed by entertainment blogs as news outlets became aware of the impending storm. Oh, hold on! A cast regular's ex-wife made references to off-camera romances that would add additional layer of the mayhem. Evelyn and Jackie had a long-standing dispute, according to another source, and this section was simply the most recent arena of conflict. Talk show hosts debated the morality of revealing such private information on national television by asking relationship specialists to comment. While some denounced it as harsh public humiliation, others said it was liberating to reveal concealed facts. The families of Tai and Evelyn were drawn into the whirlpool of drama. On her account, Evelyn's teenage daughter begged fans to refrain from bringing up her mother's private life in their discussions. Tai's brother, on the other hand, made an Instagram video in which he criticized online bullies for tearing down his sister and defended her freedom to speak her truth. What began as a dating show segment became a multifaceted dispute that impacted everyone, as the family division only served to enrich the story. Involved. A well-known BBY fan site claimed to have acquired an audio recording of a private discussion between Tai and Evelyn, which was perhaps the most unexpected event. The two ladies were heard in the film apologizing for unresolved harm and politely talking about their problems prior to the event. In contrast to the ferocious interactions seen on tape, the tone was subdued, even conciliatory. There was much discussion about the audio's veracity. While some fans thought it demonstrated that there was more to the tale, critics referred to it as a deepfake. In any case, it fueled the flames and demonstrated how eager viewers are to see the whole story behind the dramatic headlines. Sponsors and legal teams were engaged as the days went on. Production quickly released a statement stating that they will check the part to make sure all regulations were followed. The stakes were raised even further by the prospect of litigation, even though the women's attorneys vowed to file a defamation claim if any false remarks were broadcast. All of a sudden, the focus shifted from TV numbers to careers, reputations, and the very public disintegration of two prominent reality stars. Fans were glued to their devices, constantly checking their social media feeds and making predictions about each post despite all the pandemonium. With producers dissecting each phrase and gesture from the episode, reaction videos took off. There were a lot of conspiracy theories. Some assumed the whole situation was a smoke screen for an impending spin-off series, while others claimed Jackie had staged the drama to build for a unique reunion confrontation. Both Tai and Evelyn profited from the hype that surrounded them as follower counts skyrocketed and media outlets flocked to their next remarks. The consequences persisted even months later. Highlight reels and discussion programs used clips from the episode as instances of reality TV gone too far. The tension persisted even after Tai and Evelyn were asked to participate in interviews and attempted to recover their stories. Fans continue to point to the program, which started out as a straightforward dating game, as the quintessential illustration of how reality TV blurs the boundaries between entertainment and emotional warfare. What began as a lighthearted concept on Jackie Christie's program ultimately turned into a tale of secrets being revealed, arguments on social media, family strife, and court fights. The outrageous facts revealed on tape were just the beginning of the iceberg. A complex web of silent apologies, strategic power struggles, and old grudges was hidden under the surface. And one question persisted on everyone's mind as the dust cleared. Was this the start of a larger confrontation or the conclusion of the mayhem? As Tai and Evelyn changed from enemies to hesitant co-conspirators in a drama, it seemed like the whole reality TV world was watching. Neither of them had complete control. Production provisionally planned a Healing Circle reunion episode in an attempt to control the narrative and calm the outcry after the audio leak and legal threats. Tai concurred, seeing it as an opportunity to express her truth without hindrance. On the other hand, Evelyn saw a chance to finally correct the record. Backstage, a stack of handwritten notes is used to silently prepare both ladies. Evelyn with a relaxing music selection. Crew members murmured that they had never seen two stars so precariously close to a breakdown or a ceasefire, and the tension hummed in the air like static. Jackie greeted viewers with her trademark smile as the reunion set's cameras started, telling them she wanted everyone to find common ground and put their differences aside. However, the crowd held their breath as she presented Tai and Evelyn side by side. Tai spoke first, her voice calm as she described previous complaints. Unanswered calls, dubious remarks made during interviews, and the sensation of being deceived by someone she had previously referred to as a friend. She spoke with hurt honesty rather than rage. There was a murmur among the audience when she was done. A few admirers gave sympathetic nods. Others looked at each other doubtfully. No one could predict Evelyn's reaction. After taking a deep breath and straightening her hair, Evelyn gently stood up. She spoke straight to Tai. She started out by saying, "I never meant to hurt you," in an apologetic but defensive tone. She attributed her own errors and the drama caused by the Miss Pro producer's word editing. She said that she regretted not getting in touch sooner and that she had let pride to get in the way. There was a brief hope that true healing may take place. Jackie seemed relieved as the studio lights dimmed, but Evelyn's face tightened. She went on, "But I won't apologize for standing up for myself." Something deeper caused Tai's eyes to flash with astonishment. Before anybody could comprehend Evelyn's last remarks, the ceasefire was broken as fast as it had been established. Tai retaliated by accusing Evelyn of exploiting their relationship as a clickbait tactic and of making up things to remain current. She brought up a private phone conversation, in which Evelyn reportedly threatened to reveal Tai's private history if she didn't comply. The audience let out a gasp. Evelyn tightened her jaw. She denied it, but Tai insisted, citing screenshots of the text and timestamps. The footage had been broadcast live to millions of viewers when the show's producers frantically switched to a commercial. A new trend that some have dubbed Tai Brave sprouted on social media. She was accused of character assassination by others. In the midst of the assault, the reunion had grown more combustible than the initial courting portion. Jackie raised her voice over the commotion as she attempted to restore control. "Ladies, let's take a breath because she didn't deliver on her statement." In front of the studio audience, the two ladies stood toe-toe. Silent eyes and cheeks that gleamed with tears of intense determination rather than despair. Evelyn took a firm stand. Cameras hovered, recording every detail as she crossed her arms. As thousands of fan hypotheses surfaced by the second, viewers at home watched in morbid interest, constantly scrolling their Twitter accounts. Was this a planned stunt or a genuine reconciliation? No one knew, and the craze was fostered by that uncertainty. After the reunion was over, Evelyn and Tai went to their own dressing rooms. Tai addressed her fans personally in a live Instagram broadcast. After expressing gratitude for their assistance, she added incoherently, "Sometimes the truth hurts more than the lie." She left the conversation abruptly without providing more details. Evelyn, on the other hand, sat in her trailer and shook her head while reading through the remarks. She danced to a popular song in a brief TikTok video that she posted with the remark, "Moving on," remaining upbeat, seemingly attempting to alter the story. Every second was analyzed by fans. Was it damage management or true resilience? In any case, the spark had been rekindled by both ladies. Talk show hosts examined the reunion in great depth the next day. The original segment's polyamorous twist is one of the hottest topics. Experts in relationships argued about whether the program had taken advantage of non-monogamy for dramatic effect. A few people praised the visibility. Others criticized the program for sensationalizing people's private lives. Some commentators even proposed bringing in a certified therapist to help resolve disputes in future shows. There was no indication that the media circus would ease down. It was difficult for Tai or Evelyn to go without taking charge of their own narrative, since every headline, tweet, and response video added a new dimension to the story. Chantel, who had been very quiet up until this point, appeared as an unexpected ally in the middle of this whirlpool. She expressed her viewpoint on a well-known gossip podcast. Claiming to have seen Tai and Evelyn at their best and worst, she presented herself as an impartial observer. She intimated that she had testified to producers about the behind-the-scenes machinations and voiced unhappiness with the way the program handled the situation. Once again, Chantal's participation changed the focus. Supporters speculate that her testimony would completely destroy both sides' reputations or support one. Beyond what the initial dating game may have implied, the narrative became more complex. Internet detectives, meanwhile, examined every footage, every scene that was removed, and every outtake that was released. According to others, they found an unedited question in which Jackie inquired as to whether each lady had ever cheated. Others claimed to have seen the coaching lines of producers. Conspiracy websites exploded, alleging that the whole episode, a mockumentary intended to advertise a new streaming agreement, was staged. Even seasoned fans found it difficult to distinguish reality from fiction because of how widespread the rumors were. It was a reality TV show that blurred the boundaries between performance and sincerity, and everyone agreed that the drama was irresistible. Tai and Evelyn found themselves at a crossroads when the initial turmoil subsided. Profitable brand agreements were extended to both. Tai is a brand of sportswear, Evelyn a beauty partnership, but the agreements depended on their readiness to work together on more intimate topics. The majority of advisors cautioned them against it. Why take the risk of another public outburst for a sponsorship? But the problem was the same for both ladies. Money and status against peace of mind and reputation. Their teams engaged in frantic negotiations behind closed doors. Both parties are attempting to outmaneuver one another. Of all the battles, it was the quietest but most fierce. One thing thus became evident as the string of outrageous disclosures and backstage conflicts became part of reality TV legend. It was far from over. In a story that went beyond a straightforward dating show blunder, Tai and Evelyn had ended themselves as reluctant co-ads. The fans were ravenous, the producers were on guard, and the cameras were still in position. For both women, the tale continued with each podcast appearance, cryptic post, and social media update. It was more than simply settling past scores. The goal was to take charge of the story before it took over them. With rumors of a spin-off special that would bring Tai and Evelyn together for a last confrontation, the next chapter of the story started. According to production-related sources, the network seized the chance to use the outrage created by the reunion show to host a live on-air Q&A session where viewers could contribute queries in real time. The catch was clear, yet both ladies apparently got six-figure bids. Without an editing buffer, they would have to confront one another under strong studio lighting. The thought of going back to that battleground felt foolhardy to Tai. However, the opportunity to determine her story and the cash were alluring. Evelyn, on the other hand, struggled. She was unwilling to reopen past wounds. However, a live forum gave her a stage on which to express her viewpoint without bias. Their operatives went back and forth for days negotiating appearance costs, confidentiality restrictions, and camera positioning. A fresh figure joined the drama during the discussions. Up until now, Brandy Mahan had been noticeably missing. Known for her frank remarks and sharp humor, Brandy volunteered to moderate the live event, saying she could guide the discussion away from rancor and toward resolution. In order for Tai and Evelyn to resolve personal issues away from the cameras, she suggested holding a series of private mediations prior to the live recording. Supporters were split. While some praised Brandy as the show's required mediator, others thought she was trying to establish herself as the reunion circuit's queen. The hashtags "Watch Pace" rather than "Fight and Spin-Off Special" went viral when Brandy teased it on her own social media accounts, demonstrating that her participation alone was sufficient to reignite the craze. In the meanwhile, the sponsors who had first been hesitant now came full circle, keen to take credit for promoting empowerment via open dialogue. While a cosmetics business contacted Evelyn to talk about resilience and self-care, a big fitness brand suggested a sponsored video piece in which Tai would teach a yoga class on forgiveness. In addition to offering generous endorsement checks, these corporate tins included brand rules requiring the ladies to avoid using derogatory language or making personal assaults when performing live. The conflict between genuineness and a delicate dance was generated by sponsorship responsibilities. If Tai and Evelyn's act didn't straddle the thin line between slander and reality TV, they may get a windfall. By the third night of negotiations, insiders joked that the number of attorneys exceeded that of the production team. Both ladies increased their social media engagement as the important occasion drew near. In a series of well-produced Instagram videos, Tai openly discussed vulnerability and gaining strength. She presented her previous struggle as a springboard for personal development and played calming, uplifting music. Evelyn used a different strategy, sharing honest pictures of her getting ready for the live recording, including a Truth Bombs playlist and handmade message cards. Fans analyzed every part of her post, which said, "One selfie, ready to speak from the heart. No filter, no fear." There was much discussion over whether Evelyn's choice of music, the typeface on the note cards, or even the color of her nail polish would give away what she intended to disclose. The set was buzzing with excitement on the day of the live show. Tai fans and Evelyn devotees made up an equal portion of the crowd, everyone given colorful bracelets as a token of loyalty. As the lights went down and Jackie Christie approached the stage to begin the event, cameras recorded the sea of teal and purple. At home, she reminded viewers that this was supposed to be a time of healing and open communication. The guidelines were straightforward. Each lady would speak without interruption, and then Brandy, acting as moderator, would filter audience questions. The catch: backstage, handlers and coaches were not permitted. This was really going to be just the two of them. In the spotlight of live television, they faced off on stage, a dot. Tai was the first to go. With a microphone in hand, she boldly strode out and addressed Evelyn directly. She described a string of texts she said Evelyn had sent after the airing of the first section. Apologies were sent, but there were also subliminal threats to damage Tai's name if she didn't comply with interviews. While the words were shown to the audience via visuals on the screen, Tai read passages out loud in a steady voice. Even Evelyn's grin wavered as she watched, and the gathering became silent. Words never previously seen were revealed by Tai. The tone for unvarnished responsibility was established by Tai's closing statement. "I'm not here to shame you, but I need you to understand how your words landed on me." It was Evelyn's turn next. She started by recognizing Tai's suffering as she walked the stage while inhaling deeply. She played a brief audio clip of a voicemail she had left for Tai the day following the first apology tape and stated, "If my words hurt you, I am sorry, but you have to understand I was also hurt and I didn't have a way to process it." With deep regret and sincerity, many people in the crowd wiped away their emotions as the footage reverberated around the auditorium. Evelyn had a definite plan: humanize herself, accept responsibility for her errors, and show that her feelings were as legitimate. A murmur went through the gathering as she ended, looking straight at Tai and asking, "Can we find a way forward?" Everyone had been anticipating this moment. Brandy invited questions from the crowd. "Do you believe you can trust each other again?" The first one came from a fan with a Tai wristband. In her candid response, Tai acknowledged that she wasn't sure whether she could completely trust Evelyn, but she was prepared to try, acknowledging that forgiveness was a process rather than an event. Evelyn gave a forceful nod, her eyes glistening with tears. The following query was from a supporter of Evelyn. "What did this event teach you about yourself?" In response, Evelyn said she had gained humility and understood the value of straightforward communication, which she intended to apply to all facets of her life. Just when it seemed that the reunion would last, the conversation felt personal, real, and spontaneous, exactly what the filmmakers had planned to portray. During a pause in the questioning, an unexpected turn of events occurred. A blooper clip of producers urging Eileen and Chantel to heighten the tension for better footage was inadvertently shown on a backstage monitor. Before the transmission was interrupted, the footage aired for around 10 seconds, but the harm had already been done. Whispers became a shout as fans in the crowd gasped. When Tai and Evelyn discovered the program they believed was helping them had been playing with their grief all along, their faces hardened as they continued to look at the monitor. The live program suddenly turned into a brand new controversy. A critique of reality television. Jackie tried to mitigate the damage by stepping forward, but her comments were muffled by the drunkenness of the throng. With her head held high, Tai lowered her microphone and left the stage, followed shortly after by Evelyn. A spontaneous commercial break interrupted the live broadcast as the producers rushed to get everything back in order. Social media users went crazy. Tai and Evelyn were praised by some as heroes for abandoning the hoax. They were chastised by others for failing to provide an example of reconciliation. Although confidence had already been damaged, the network issued a statement pledging openness and a review of editing processes. In the both ladies found themselves penning a fresh flood of support after the live spectacular. As people appreciated Tai's genuineness, her following skyrocketed. Evelyn was approached to publish a book on her experience with reality TV and her quest for atonement. However, Jackie's program came under regulatory investigation. The producers had been the target of complaints of emotional manipulation and misleading editing. Panelists on talk shows discussed the morality of reality TV, and some of them pushed for additional rules to shield contestants from abuse. A wider discussion over the expenses of drama-driven entertainment was sparked by the controversy. The true triumph for Tai and Evelyn was in taking back their own narratives. They had shared their suffering, their bravery, and their forgiveness with the public without a staged performance or a pre-written scene. They were suddenly contacted with more polite approaches, book agreements that centered on therapeutic wellness retreats where they could speak on panels, and collaborations with mental health groups by sponsors who had previously sought sterile sound bites. Irony prevailed. Instead of taking advantage of their rivalry, the spin-off had helped them establish themselves as champions of open communication and personal development. Thus, a new chapter for Tai and Evelyn began when the cameras eventually cut away from the mayhem that started with a dating game gone awry. One that is characterized by the strength of truth and vulnerability rather than the limelight of reality TV conflict. Anyone who has ever been harmed, degraded, or taken advantage of for amusement may follow their path as a model. Additionally, Tai and Evelyn stood together hand in hand, prepared to face whatever happened next together on their own terms. As the network rushed to write new regulations and viewers kept uploading response videos. And such is the current state of our narrative. Tai and Evelyn have shown to us that reality TV can go beyond any pre-written drama, from a humorous matchmaking prank to a shocking reckoning. Under the bright studio lights, we were there to see alliances change, secrets pour, and unbridled passions ignite. Questions, mixed perspectives, and racing hearts not responded to. Will Tai be able to find the forgiveness she seeks? Is it possible for Evelyn to regain trust without losing herself? And how will Jackie's show bounce back from this historic setback? You have the true power, your voice, while the network frantically attempts to repair its image. In this case, did you support Evelyn's tenacity or Tai's candor? Are you prepared to see them rebuild together or forge separate futures? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Who, in your opinion, came out stronger from this chaos? To keep up with the latest on your favorite BBWLA celebs, please like and subscribe to this video if you want more exclusive breakdowns, behind-the-scenes scoops, and exciting updates. To ensure that you never miss a surprise, spoiler, or the next episode in this story, click the notification bell. Additionally, keep in mind that there is a very thin line between performance and truth in the realm of reality TV. Which side you support is up to you. We appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next one, where the tales only grow crazier and the action never stops.